morning, everyone. Welcome to, let's see, this is week 3 food prep. Woohoo! We're on week 3 already. Yay! So, not yay because it's going badly, just yay because it's going. So, last 2 food preps, I have made ketchup and 2 different dressings, or at least 1 dressing. I am not doing that this time because I don't eat the dressing. So I'm definitely making more ketchup because I had ketchup I made week 1 and I didn't make more on week 2 and I still have it for week 3 and it smells fine and it's not growing anything, but she said keep it for a week. It's been 2, so I'll go ahead and get rid of that and make a new batch. I am going to try this time to make it with 5 dates rather than 6. The original recipe was for 6. I'm going to try it with 1 less date. I was going to try it with 4 and then I was like, you know, I got room to play with this. Let's just bring it down by 1 date because it's just a little bit too sweet for ketchup. Gosh, it's almost an oxymoron, sweet ketchup. But anyway, I know ketchup is supposed to be sweet, but it's a little bit too sweet for me. So anyways, I'm gonna try it with 5. But I'm not gonna make any, I'm not gonna make like a mustard dressing. I'm not gonna make a tzatziki dressing. I'm not gonna make any of the other dressings that would be an option simply because I've just not been using them, honestly. So I eat my salads almost always without. If I wanted to do something just quick and easy, my go-to would be mix like about a tablespoon of peanut butter, and this is with this particular challenge because there's no salt, but maybe a tablespoon of peanut butter, a tiny splash of lemon juice, and a teeny tiny bit of like the garlic chili sauce, or if you have, I don't know if you like sriracha or something like that, just a tiny little bit to give it a little bit of kick, and a little bit of water to thin it out to the point where it's like a salad dressing, and that's really, really super good. I enjoy that a lot, so I'm just not making dressings this time. Okay, so because the Lean and Clean is a 14-day challenge, there are meals in those 14 days that I have not eaten yet, so I will go back and do some of those. It's totally fine. But there are other things that I want to include in this challenge, which would be Hannah's recipes, but things that maybe need to be adapted just slightly because some of her other recipe books, excuse me, I want to sneeze. Some of her other recipe books do contain salt, or they add sugar and whatever. So what we're gonna food prep today are potatoes, and I still have 3 baggies of frozen millet in the freezer, so we're not making more of that. I am going to make a black bean rice dish, which is from their Instant Pot, fully cooked Instant Pot, whatever their Instant Pot recipe cookbook is. It's kind of amusing to read, actually. I think Derek had a big hand in that one, so it's pretty fun. And then I'm going to also make the veggie burgers, which look super simple and hopefully taste okay. I don't know. We'll see. And that is from her I don't remember. I think it's from her fully cooked cookbook. It's not one of the raw ones, so it's not the I Like It Raw, it's not raw till whenever, I don't think. It's either raw till whenever or fully cooked. I think it's the fully cooked one. Anyways, so I'm going to make veggie burgers, and I'm going to make ketchup, and I'm going to cook potatoes, and I'm going to make the black bean rice. So I'm going to, already on the table or counter right over there, I've got 5 dates soaking, so I'm making 2 sweet potatoes, and 3 regular potatoes. So what I decided to do with the regular potatoes, and why I'm cooking them ahead of time, is, so she does the whole french fry thing. I wouldn't say fairly often, but like once a week she had the french fry, steak fries type thing, and they take a long time in the oven. So I was thinking, what if I cook the potatoes ahead of time, put them in the refrigerator so they weren't like super, super soft, and then when it came time, just cut them. They're already cooked, so just put them under the broiler for like 5-10 minutes. Probably not 10 minutes. Under the broiler at 10 minutes might be a long time for a potato. But anyways, put them under the broiler for like 5 minutes or something. And then I would have french fries ready to go in like short order. So I'm gonna try that. I don't know that that's going to work, but this is heavy. Here is my tray of potatoes, 3 potatoes and 2 sweet potatoes. And I'm going to go put those in the oven, and then I'm going to come back and do the burger recipe with you. So this recipe basically says to make it put into balls, put in the refrigerator, and let it sit for 30 minutes and then cook it on the stove. And what I'm actually going to do is make it, put it on a tray, and put it in the freezer. I don't need them today, and so I would like to be able to just pull one out of the freezer and toss it in the oven to broil it, or put it in the nonstick pan that we have. We only have one, but I do have one. Put it on the nonstick pan on the stove, and I don't know. We'll see where that goes. I'm not sure. I think it'll be okay though, and I would like to keep them frozen rather than keeping them in the refrigerator, because I'm guessing from reading the recipe they're going to be relatively sticky. So anyway, we're going to do that in just a minute, so I'm going to go grab those ingredients and I will be right back with you. So I'm not sure how these burgers are going to taste, guys, but they sure are simple looking to put together, so we'll see. So the first thing you need to do is take a can of chickpeas and garbanzo beans and drain it and rinse it really well. So I did that, and that goes in your food processor. So there that goes. However, I have a can open in the refrigerator that's got maybe a third of a can left in it. So I'm going to use that as well, because I just want to finish up the can. So that means everything that I put in here is going to be just a little bit more than what the recipe calls for. Not much, but a little bit. So chickpeas first. Calls for 1 cup of corn. So I have 1 heaping cup of corn. We buy frozen corn, and we buy no salt added canned corn. And I really like the no salt added canned corn. It's really delicious. It's very sweet. I very much enjoy that. Now, seasonings. You need half a teaspoon of each of the following. So 1/2 teaspoon of, it's supposed to be garlic powder, granulated garlic, that's what I have. And that goes. And then 1/2 teaspoon, let's leave the paprika for last, 1/2 teaspoon of, supposed to be salt. Here's my organic no salt seasoning mix. It's, you know, you gotta make adjustments where you can. So there's the salt-free version. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of cumin, so I'm going to use about 1/4 teaspoon. You guys use 1/2 teaspoon if you like cumin. And 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. So I didn't show you guys, there's the paprika. I use a smoked paprika, that's all we have. And my little bottle of cumin. And so put that in there. And then you're supposed to then also add some cayenne. I am not going to be doing that, but you guys go right ahead. So 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper if you would like to, or whatever kind of spicy it is that you like to put in stuff. You should go ahead and add that right now as well. And then it's supposed to be 1/4 cup any type of flour. So we use Namaste gluten-free flour blend. And so again, it's supposed to be 1/4 cup. There's a heaping 1/4 cup. So I'm going to put that in there as well. And that's it. That was it. That's all. So you're supposed to put this into your food processor and blend it, and then have a surface with flour, and then like put the stuff on the flour and try to keep it from being too terribly sticky. And we'll see how sticky this is. Some gluten-free burgers are just horrible. Like they're super ridiculously sticky. I was thinking that I might get I have an ice cream scoop that I use for when I'm making muffins. It works perfect for making muffins. But I was thinking if it was really sticky, I could just use the ice cream scoop, scoop it out, squeeze it out, and use the back of a spoon or a spatula that's wet, and put it on there and flatten it out and make a burger that way. It would be a smaller burger, but then you just eat 2 or 3 of them rather than eating 1. No big deal. So anyway, come on down and take a look at the blender or the food processor as it does its thing. Alright, so the last of the corn just got done on there, and that is what that looks like. Who knows? Let's see. Since I'm not going to try these now, I'm going to put them in the freezer. Let's do that. Yeah, it's good. I mean, lo and behold, tastes kind of like corn with some spices in it, for the most part. It's good. So, I'm going to take the ice cream scooper. That's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to start with that, actually, and put it onto, what do you call it, silicone baking mat, and see if I can get those into a nice shape, and I will show you guys what that looks like when I'm done with that. All right, so, oh, hi. shaking all over the place, my goodness. So all I did was I took a fork and put it in a little bowl of water and I poked them till they were flat. And this was super, super, super simple. Totally do it like this. Get your little ice cream scoop out, scoop, plop, push, water, good, good go. So there's that. Those are gonna go in the freezer and freeze up. And then when it comes time to cook them, I will probably, I don't know if I'll fry them or if I'll broil them. I'm not actually sure. We'll see. I'm not sure. But there are some veggie burgers. So let's move on to some ketchup. All right, guys. Ketchup real quick before we do move on to the black rice beans, black beans and rice, black beans, whatever it's called. Okay. So I was wrong about the whole date thing. We'll get to that. So 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste and 1/2 cup water. Okay, that's where that starts. Then you want to have your medjool dates that have been soaking. You're supposed to have 4. So I'm going to use 6 halves. So 3 of them this time. So 1, ew, it's gooey, gross. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that leaves, yeah, 2 dates. Yep, that's right. Cool, because I did 5. Awesome. So that's in there. And then we need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. My husband actually likes to put apple cider vinegar on a salad. I mean, just drizzle it, not like pour it on there or anything. It's a little bit too much for me. I'm not a big fan. But I do like sweet vinegars, like you would buy from the Olive Tap. Those vinegars are good. Then 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano. All right, that's all. That's it. That's all she wrote. So I'm going to go blend this, and I'm going to put it in a container. It smells really good. That apple cider vinegar smells real good in here. And then I'm going to get stuff prepared for the next recipe that will be my last recipe. And the potatoes, I'm cooking at 450 degrees this time because I wanted them to get done just a little bit quicker. I'm kind of a little antsy this morning. I've got a lot of stuff to do today, so let's go for it. Alrighty guys, so on to the Bomb Diggity black bean rice. So this isn't going to be black bean rice, it's going to be brown bean rice because I apparently don't have any dry black beans. How exciting. So with their recipe, what they want you to do is put the onions and the garlic in your Instant Pot and saute them for about 5 minutes until they're nice and fragrant and all that good stuff. And then put your other ingredients in and cook it. I have learned that it makes no difference with an Instant Pot whether you saute your garlic and onion first. Maybe it does flavor-wise. If it does, okay, great. I'm not going to. They get done, it gets cooked, it gets infused throughout. I'm so not worried about it. I'm not doing it. If you guys want to follow their recipe, saute your onion and your garlic first for 5 minutes, and then put your other ingredients in, and then cook it. That's what it says to do. So do that if you choose to follow it. I don't see any reason to do that. It's much easier. Just keep going. So, first things first. You need 1 cup of brown rice medley, which I have no idea what that is, and it says on there to just go ahead and use regular brown rice if you don't have brown rice medley. So okay, I did. So there is my brown rice, 1 cup, going in my Instant Pot. Also use 1/2 cup of dry black beans. That's what you should use, dry black beans. There are my dry pinto beans because I don't have black beans. There goes that in the recipe. Calls for 2.5 cups of water. I'm going to put that in at the end because I'm going to reuse my 1 cup measuring cup. I'm being lazy and not making more dishes for myself. And then in here you're going to put 1/2 of a red onion diced. I don't have a red onion at the moment, so I'm putting in 1/2 of a white onion. But if you want to follow the recipe again, 1/2 of a red onion. So that's going in there now. And then you also want to dice up 1/2 of a red bell pepper. You don't put it in the Instant Pot though. That actually goes in at the end, which is kind of odd because it's going to be super crunchy, but okay, no problem. That sounds great. That's just fine. So then in here you want to put 2 cloves of garlic, which we buy massive amounts of garlic. You guys know this, but I'm just going to put a tablespoon of garlic in there. That's way more than 2 cloves, and that's totally fine with me because I really like garlic. And then it says to use 1 teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon. You can use the low sodium version, which is the veggie version, and that has like 350-ish milligrams of sodium per teaspoon, or the no chicken base has like 625, I believe, for 1 teaspoon. I am just going to use a teaspoon of my no salt seasoning mix. It probably would be better with the bouillon, to be honest with you. I really like bouillon, although at this point I've been really enjoying food that doesn't have any salt, so maybe this will be awesome too. I don't know. 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Again, we get our chili powder at Sprouts in the bulk section. So there's 1 tablespoon of that. You're supposed to use 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That's not happening. So you guys put your spicy in there if you want to. And then 1/2 teaspoon of, or excuse me, 1 teaspoon of cumin. And I'm not going to use a whole teaspoon. Again, not a huge fan. That's about 3/4 of a teaspoon. It's good enough. Okay, so I need to put 2.5 cups of water in here, and then what it says is you put the cover on the iPot and obviously turn it off of venting onto ceiling. Manual button 25 minutes. Once it's cooking, let it naturally release for 10 to 15 minutes and then let it vent. Okay, so I'm going to put 2.5 cups of water in here, going to cook it for 25 minutes on high, and then going to start cleaning up my kitchen a little bit, and I will chat with you guys when everything is all said and done. I'm not making anything else, so I think this challenge will work out just fine. These beans look like they're going to be delicious, so I'm super excited about this rice and bean thing. So let me go get these started, and I'll be back with you guys in about half an hour, or about, I think, 1 second for you guys. Alrighty guys, so here's what it looks like. Rice and beans. It's very hot, so I'm not gonna try it right now. So I am done prepping. I feel like I've been in the kitchen for forever, but that's mostly, I think, just because it takes so long to cook potatoes. So anyways, that's it for this time around, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for day 15.